I got a call from a young detective. He'd, he'd just been made detective, actually. And he called Ollie up. He said, Ollie, I'm stuck on a case. I don't know if you've met. My name is Matt Jenkins. I mean, I've met you, but I'm not sure if you remember me, I guess is what I mean. I said, yeah, I think so. Kind of tall, red hair. I said, yeah, that's me. Yeah. I said, yeah, I remember meeting you at a social event down at the precinct recently. Congratulations on making detective. I said, thanks. Listen, Ollie, I was wondering if maybe I could get your help on a case. I said, sure, Detective Jenkins. And he laughed. Yeah. Um, Here's the thing. I mentioned that I was stuck on this case to this friend of mine who's kind of been mentoring me, and he said that what I should do is bring you in, and said that you're a really good detective, and that they wish they could have you on the force, and that if I spend a day hanging out with you, I might learn a lot. And he said I could expense it to the department if I brought you in. I said, all right, sure, always happy to help. So, what's the case? I said, well, it's kind of a mundane case, but important to the people that are affected. A whole bunch of tools stolen from a construction site. They were fixing up a row house, and when they got in this morning, the door was broken into, and all the tools were gone. I said, all right, what's the address? I'll meet you there. He gave me the address. I said, oh, cool, that's not too far away from me. So, we'll meet you there in about an hour? And Jenkins said, yeah, that'd be great, thank you. Do you want anything? I'm going to stop by and get a coffee on the way there. I said, sure, I'd love a coffee. Just regular coffee, a little bit of cream, no sugar. And then Jenkins said, all right, great, I'll see you there. So they met up at the house, and Jenkins handed Ollie his coffee. Ollie had a coffee of his own. It was nice stuff. It's from Charmington's. I said, oh man, yeah, I like that place. Jenkins said, yeah, they make good coffee. So here's what we found. So the crew came in, early this morning. They're renovating this row house. It was a gut renovation. They're a couple months in, really in the thick of it. So they had all kinds of tools in place here. I got a list from the foreman. And yeah, then they came in at about 6:30 this morning to get set up. Just about everything was missing. Drills, hammer drills, chop saw, jigsaw, what else we got here? Shop vac, a whole tool chest full of hand tools like screwdrivers and hammers and chisels, things like that. 2 different battery drill sets with the chargers, an air compressor, some air tools, and 3 hand saws. What else? Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, this sort of thing happens, but yeah, we're trying to solve it. And I got nothing. It just looked like a construction site to me. I don't see any clues. I checked the door handle, and the lock had been picked. I could tell that, but there's no fingerprints anywhere. Like nobody's fingerprints. The crew's all wearing gloves, and whoever did this must have been wearing gloves too. So all we really know is that they did force the lock. They did pick the lock. All I looked around, it was a pretty standard construction site. And they'd left it behind some materials, some nails, some insulation, some lumber, a sink, and in a couple different spots there was a big bag of garbage, a big black construction bag. The other thing Ollie noticed when he looked around is that there was another cup of coffee there. Also from Charmington's. Ollie went up to the upstairs and it was kind of the same. There's another bag of trash up there. And there was another coffee. And then, up there were some, what's it called? Like junction boxes for electrical work. But no wire. Well, I asked about the wire. He said, oh, yeah, they took 4 big spools of wire. Yeah, expensive stuff, as it turns out. And I looked around and he thought, you know what? And he picked up one of the coffees. And he popped up the lid and gave it a sniff. Pumpkin spice. As gross as it was, he dipped one tentacle into the very bottom. There's still a little bit of coffee left. There was still a little bit of coffee left. He tasted it. And it wasn't too sweet. He went downstairs. He did the same to the other one. Also pumpkin spice. Also not too sweet. He looked at the cups again, and they were from Charmington's, the same place they'd gotten their coffee. Something seemed off about it. So Ollie went over and he opened up the bags of trash and looked inside. And there's a lot of the stuff you'd expect, boxes from nails and some plastic that had been wrapped around some insulation, things like that. But he looked and he also saw several empty coffee cups. And that's when Ollie thought his clue was going somewhere, because in both bags, every single coffee cup was from 7-Eleven. Every single one. No, I mean 7-Eleven. So I thought that these Charmington's coffees are my clue. So I went to talk to Detective Jenkins. I said, Jenkins, we're going to need a warrant to get some records from the coffee shop around the corner. The same place you got our coffee. At the coffee shop? I said, yeah. All the coffee cups in the trash cans, in the trash bags rather, is from 7-Eleven. And then here we've got 2 coffee cups from the local coffee shop. And it's a pumpkin spice latte. And it's well balanced, not overly sweet. If you got a pumpkin spice latte from 7-Eleven, it would be all sweetness. But this one isn't. And here's the other thing. It was June when this happened. I said, pumpkin spice isn't on the menu. And that's a big help to us. Jenkins says, why is that such a big, because they're not going to be serving a lot of pumpkin spice, are they? That's exactly, they're not. So Jenkins had to call and go through the whole process to get a warrant, because he knew that the coffee shop wasn't going to turn over customer information without a warrant. But the judge on duty that day did issue a warrant. So they came in and said, hey. I said, oh, you're back. Is your coffee okay? I said, oh yeah, the coffee's okay, but we need your help with an investigation. And Jenkins showed his badge. So we actually have a warrant. And it's going to sound silly, but we need to know who early this morning or late last night ordered a pair of pumpkin spice lattes. The person working the cash register said, pumpkin spice lattes, those aren't in season yet. Ollie chimed in and said, I know. That's why I'm hoping you'll be able to help us find them. If it was something in season, if it was something on the regular menu, you probably would have served a couple hundred of those. But I bet those are the only 2 pumpkin spice lattes you served all day. I said, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, give me a minute to serve the person behind you. And then I can get up. This person behind him came in and ordered regular stuff. They're not really part of the story. So then the coffee shop said, all right, yeah, let me dig through the records from yesterday. I should be able to spot it. You think 2 together or 2 separate? I said, oh, we can't be sure, but probably right next to each other in time, even if it was 2 separate purchases. Cool. So I made a few taps to the machine. The barista was, the cash register person, also a barista, was looking through the previous day's purchase records. Well, started off early that morning. And there, right after opening, which for them is like 5:45. I don't know if that's actually when they open or not, but for the story it is. Said, yeah, I found one. I found 2, I mean. Got a pair, pumpkin spice lattes, paid separately, from super early this morning. And yeah, special instructions were not too sweet. And yeah, I suppose you want the name. The name's on the credit cards, right? I said, yeah, any information you have. I said, hold on, let me print it all out. So I printed out the information. Handed it over to the officer and to Ollie. And there it was. Name, phone number, credit card number, even an email address. Well, so then Officer Jenkins called the judge back up and got an expanded search warrant for these people's houses. Pretty soon they had a whole 2 different squads going out there to serve these warrants. So Jenkins rode with one of them. Jenkins brought in another. I just brought in the cops working the patrols. And at the same time, so that if one of them didn't have it, the other one did have the stuff, they couldn't call and say hide all the stuff. So they went at the exact same time, even radioed together. And then, all right, okay, I'm outside suspect A's house. We're outside suspect B's house. You got somebody in the rear? Yep, we've got somebody in the rear. All right, let's do it. Both at the same time, they knocked on the door, and one person at each of the house answered. Ollie was with Detective Jenkins at suspect A's house. Said, sorry, this is the police. We have a warrant to search your premises. I said, what are you talking about? I didn't do nothing. I said, all the same, we have a warrant. You take a look here, but we're going to need to come inside and search. This is ridiculous. I'm an innocent man. And that's all fine. But we're going to search anyway. And the officer came in and started searching. Looked on the main floor, didn't find anything. Looked upstairs, didn't find anything. The guy was looking real nervous as the police went toward the basement door. Went down to the basement. There was the whole load. Electrical wire, power tools, air tools, even the 3 saws. Everything was right there. The exact matching description from the list from the foreman. And the guy just sat down on the stairs and said, I'm under arrest, aren't I? Now, Detective Jenkins said, yep. One of the officers here will put you in handcuffs and take you out to the squad car. I said, dang it. I gotta know. How did you find me? Jenkins said, well, your mistake was, and Ollie elbowed him, well, not elbow, I didn't know elbows, but smacked him straight in the ribs. Jenkins said, what was that? I said, no. I'll explain in a minute. Jenkins said, never mind. And the officer handcuffed him and took him away. Jenkins said, what was that about, Ollie? I said, that's one of the tricks of the trade. Don't tell them how they got caught. That way, you can use the trick again next time. And that was the case of Ollie and the tool robbery.